Now that the War of Swords has ended, the rebuilding process can begin, and no team needs more rebuilding than Mr. Sinister's ragtag motley crew. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Hellions issue number 7 and find out together, shall we? So then, as the comic opens up, once again Mr. Sinister is bold-facedly lying to the Quiet Council, saying how his team defended Krakoa valiantly and all died heroically. Even though we as the reader know his shitty management got them completely lost and he ended up killing most of them himself. Sinister says that the risks involved should be damned and that Nanny, Orphan Maker, and Wildchild should be brought back by the Five post-haste, despite whatever dangers could possibly be involved. Here's the thing, though. The Quiet Council is mostly just letting Sinister talk right now. They were planning on bringing back those three anyway, but not for the reasons you might expect. Of course, as we learned in X of Swords, if you die in Otherworld, you basically die for real. As the you that would be resurrected by the Krakoan resurrection protocols, well, you wouldn't be the same, you would be completely different, a new version of yourself. But as far as the three dead Hellions, they technically died in Eriko, not Otherworld, so Xavier and the Five are actually pretty interested to see what exactly this would look like, and the results are probably going to surprise you. For you see, Nanny and Wildchild are actually brought back bigger and stronger than they ever were before. The Index in this comic theorizes that perhaps the way that is that because Eriko was such a much more frigid, harsh place, to be resurrected there would be to, have to be a stronger version of yourself. This basically means we get two new redesigns and Wildchild gets to look even more like a poor man's Sabretooth. And what about Orphan Maker? Well, he's gonna have to hang out in his pod a little bit longer because, well, no one really understands what his mutation is, only that it's incredibly dangerous. In the past, when his robot suit has been breached, we've seen a bunch of terrible acid fall out and melt the face of anyone who was nearby at the time, but Nanny even goes a step further by saying that if he doesn't get a new set of armor, well, he could destroy everything everywhere. And why yes, before you even have to ask, getting Orphan Maker a brand new suit is indeed the Hellions' first brand new mission back, even though a bunch of them don't trust Sinister anymore and rightly assume that he was probably behind their so-called heroic deaths. Havoc especially is losing faith in the group, as since he's been on it, it's pretty much been one giant horror from another. The Essex house getting his hands chopped off. And that's just the horrible stuff he can remember, to say nothing of the horrible stuff he can't. Before the Hellions can fully turn on Mr. Sinister, though, in a big old coup, Psylocke, the de facto leader of the team, pretty much takes up to protect Mr. Sinister. Again, this might not make any sense to you if you didn't read Fallen Angels, but basically the long and short of it is Sinister has the genetic code of Quanon's daughter. And he's basically holding her hostage so long as Psylocke keeps the other members of the Hellions in line. So before you know it, they're off on their brand new mission. Their goal is to steal back Nanny's ship so she can make Orphan Maker a brand new suit. The only problem is the ship, which she used to kidnap children, I should probably mention, has fallen into the hands of the mutant-hating Right, an old-timey group of mutant races that we have not actually seen in a while. Havoc tries to break on through to Psylocke and figure out what exactly it is Sinister is holding over her head, but before they can actually make any leeway, their ship gets shot down. It's while they're crawling out of the wreckage the team actually sees something rather familiar, a group of Nanny-style robots, only these ones are huge and packing a ton of heat. This new Nanny-bot Legion seems to be the brainchild of none other than Cameron Hodge, old-school X-Factor villain who's back now and better than ever as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Hellions number 7, everybody, and once again this continues to be one of the most wildly entertaining comics on the shelf right now, and probably one of the most creative X-Men books in a sea of very creative X-Men books. And this newest post-X of Swords arc shows that it's not slowing down anytime too, as it has a wonderful combination of dark comedy, ultra-violence, as well as some really good character work from Zeb Wells too. You can really feel the pathos in characters like Psylocke and Havoc, who continue to have the world beaten up on them, even in a place that's supposed to be a paradise like Krakoa. Overall, I'd give this one another very positive 8 out of 10, and I'm glad that this is one of the X-Men books I decided to keep on up with, because every issue is just so much fun. Hey there everyone, Kate Joel again, and I just want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. It means a lot to me. And hey, if you enjoyed the book I covered in this issue and want some comics of your own, might I recommend Book Depository? It's my #1 place for shopping for comic book trades. You get a great price, and if you use my link down in the description, you'll actually be helping me out at the same time. You get something, I get something, everybody wins, right? So until next time everyone, I've been Joel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.